Joel Saylor, Associate Professor at the Department of Earth, Ocean and Atmospheric Sciences, University of BC, joins us now. Joel, thank you for your time. Such a tragic incident that we are tracking right now in Texas. I'd like your thoughts on how do you think the force of this flood could be affecting rescue and recovery efforts at the moment?
Actually, thank you for having me on. It's quite an honor to be here. These floods, they rise incredibly quickly. As you saw in that segment, rising 8 or 9 meters in the course of just 45 minutes, but they taper off quite a bit more slowly. So the onset is quite fast, quite intense, as you say, but the river lowering is typically on the order of hours to maybe even days. And so that timeline means that rescuers are dealing with floodwaters that they have to work their way through. They have to deal with debris that's been washed up and often piled up, as you can see in some of the images there. And that definitely does make their job more difficult.
Yeah. Joel, talk to us a little more in detail about what causes this sudden rise. I mean, 8 meters in about 40 minutes or so. What's behind something like this?
So this was a particularly devastating, a particularly bad set of circumstances where you had a thunderstorm, a storm that was stalled over central Texas, dumping rain, on the order of, I've heard up to 45 centimeters of rain fell over that area in that day. Couple that with thin soil, rocky ground, and bedrock that just doesn't absorb a lot of water. So all that water is now running across the surface and down into gullies. The region is topographically rugged, and so it's going into ravines and gullies and ultimately down into the Guadalupe River. And so it's just a rapid release of water in the form of rain that goes into those rivers that causes the rapid rise.
Like we heard in the report, this area is prone to floods and the river water rising. But Joel, my question being, can people actually prepare for something like this in advance?
There are things that people can do. The best sort of approach is to shelter in place usually. And so the things to do would be to prepare your home or wherever you're at for safety, to be able to stay in place and not need to go. Many of those that died in this flood were actually in their cars or traveling. So it's things like preparing to be able to stay at your home, water, food, medicine, whatever you need, for up to a few days until rescue comes.